Welcome to the introduction of the Production Suite Editor. It's the main launchpad for job preparation and submission. Editor works with floating windows, which can be easily enabled or disabled to configure a work environment fitting the specific user's needs. The most important window is the toolbar. Here you find all tools to work on your job, like text editing, drawing objects or paths, and additional finishing tools to reduce the time for job preparation. We will have a closer look on them in the use case tutorials. Next, we have the so-called quick production bar. Here you can apply scaling on the job for working in real file size without slowing down processing time, select the printing device as well as the cutting device where the job should be produced on. At first startup, you can configure which floating windows you need to be enabled and, most important, you should configure the preferences. The most important settings on the General tab are setting up the language, entering an IP for the fixed license server, you may already know this from the Production Suite RIP, and setting up a fixed IP for the RIP server. Setting up a fixed IP for the RIP server means this editor module will only search for installed printers on the defined location. If this box is left empty, all printers and RIPs in the same network will be seen by editor and can be used for production. On the Standard tab, please define the print standard you are producing for most of the time. If you define to use the PDFX output intent, the output intent of files will be used as output color space. If no output intent is defined in the file, your defined print standard will be used instead. We recommend setting the preview to printer output. Editor will then preview the job in the color appearance of the selected printer and media. Editor offers a small pre-flighting tool, checking for LFP relevant settings, such as image resolution and font size according to the viewing distance, untagged objects, open cut contours and many more. Here in the preferences you can define the general settings of this tool, and if you want to run the error check every time you open a document, if you will be prompted for every document, or select never when you want to run the error check manually when needed. The Color tab defines the normalizing settings. Here you can define how untagged objects in a file should be handled and if tagged profiles should be respected. Again, you can define how these settings should be applied. Now we handled the most important tabs. Think carefully about the settings best matching your production. On the remaining tabs you can define the units, move the work disk for temporary files to another storage location, document and grid settings, and define own shortcuts for your mostly used actions to make your work more efficient. Now your editor is ready for production.